Looking for the best ultra-wide monitors to suit your needs? In this video, we're diving into some of the top options available right now. Before we begin, don't forget to check out the links in the description to find the best deals within your budget. Let's get Number 1. Corsair Xeneon 34W QHD 240C QD-OLED Monitor. The Corsair Xeneon 34W QHD 240C is a superbly fast 240Hz ultra-wide that's ideal for competitive gamers who also want to enjoy an immersive experience with a lush QD-OLED panel. The OLED tech also means that the response times are excellent, meaning maximum responsiveness in fast-paced games. The 3440 by 1440 resolution is pretty ideal for gaming on this size of screen. Obviously it doesn't deliver the pixel sharpness of a 4K display, but it's more than adequate for most visual content, and the slightly lower resolution helps ensure smoother gameplay by putting less strain on your graphics card. Peak SDR brightness lands around 254 nits, which fairly standard for OLED, though modest compared to LCD counterparts. Combined with the glossy screen, this means the Xeneon isn't best suited for working in brightly lit environments. Text clarity also isn't the best, due to a mixture of the text fringing effects seen on most OLED screens, plus the lower pixel density across a screen this large. That being said, it's not terrible, and it really depends on how sensitive you personally are to this effect. In terms of color, over 100% of the ARGB gamut and 97% DCI-P3, with reasonable color accuracy, though this can be improved with calibration. Contrast ratio and black points are as effectively perfect as you'd expect from a QD-OLED panel of this generation. HDR mode has much better peak brightness when looking at highlights on dark scenes as you'd expect from an OLED display, with the HDR 10% screen peak hitting around 470 nits. Specifications: Panel type, QD-OLED. Resolution, 3440 by 1440. Refresh rate, 240 Hz. Response time, 0.03 milliseconds. Panel size, 34-inch. Number 2. Alienware AW3423DWF Curved QD-OLED Gaming Monitor, 34. In very close second place is the Alienware AW3423DWF, which for most people might actually be the better choice over our top pick. The main difference is that it's limited to a 165 Hz refresh rate, which should still be fine for the majority of single-player gamers and even casual online players, although might turn off competitive gamers after a faster screen. Besides this though, the Alienware display costs significantly less money, which is an unusual thing to say about an Alienware product, although recently the brand seems to be aiming for less extortionate pricing with some of their products. The AW3423DWF also has better color accuracy out of the box, though covers a smaller color gamut, and, arguably, looks slightly better. This is not to say the Corsair display doesn't look good, but the Alienware styling is among our personal favorites. In all other respects it scores pretty similarly to the Corsair Xeneon 34W QHD 240C. The monitor is equipped with a 34-inch curved OLED panel featuring a gentle 1800R curvature, which enhances immersion. The glossy screen looks great but does attract screen glare, and the 240 nits peak SDR brightness is fairly mediocre if you're in a brightly lit room, but pretty standard for an OLED panel. Thankfully, the screen's automatic brightness limiter, ABL, is fairly restrained, meaning you're less likely to notice abrupt dimming during long sessions, a common annoyance with many OLEDs. Specifications: Panel type, QD-OLED. Resolution, 3440 by 1440. Refresh rate, 165 Hz. Panel size, 34.18. Response time, 0.1 milliseconds. Number 3. Samsung 49 Odyssey OLED G9 Ultrawide Gaming Monitor. The Samsung Odyssey OLED G9 G93 SC stands out as an absolute powerhouse among monitors, delivering one of the most immersive ultrawide gaming experiences we've come across. With a sprawling 49-inch diagonal size, an ultrawide 32:9 aspect ratio, and a resolution of 5120 by 1440, it's like having two 27-inch QHD screens fused into one uninterrupted display. This expansive real estate is perfect for immersive gaming, heavy multitasking, or enjoying widescreen movies, though it does require a generous amount of desk space and a considerable investment of cash. The G9 boasts a high refresh rate of 240 Hz, paired with the lightning-quick response time characteristic of OLED technology, delivering ultra-smooth visuals and razor-sharp responsiveness in fast-action gameplay. Its color performance is equally impressive, covering 98% of the DCI-P3 color space and fully supporting sRGB, making it a solid choice for both gamers and creative professionals. Being an HDMI 2.1 monitor, it also offers next-gen console support and higher resolution/refresh rate combos. Specifications: Panel type, QD-OLED. Resolution, 5120 by 1440, 32:9. Refresh rate, 240 Hz. Panel size, 49 inches. Response time, 0.03 milliseconds. Number 4. HP E45C G5 Ultrawide Monitor. If you don't want to spend the high asking price of the Odyssey G9 and are just looking for a super ultrawide that's great for productivity alongside some casual gaming, then the HP E45C G5 is a great choice. As with our other super ultrawide pick, its enormous screen real estate lets you effectively use it as two 27-inch QHD screens. This monitor is limited to 165 Hz, which is good enough for single-player games and for casual online play, though competitive players may find this a bit lacking. The response time of the VA panel, whilst not terrible, also doesn't compare to the excellent speeds offered by the OLED panel picks on this page, and neither does the contrast ratio, though the latter remains respectable. Besides this though, the E45C G5 is great in almost every way, and has superior brightness and text legibility when compared to an OLED panel monitor. 400 nits peak full-screen SDR brightness is a solid result, and should serve you well in most brightly lit indoor scenarios. Color gamut and accuracy are both great, and with 100% sRGB and 99% DCI-P3 coverage you can do color-accurate work in both spaces. The selection of ports and other productivity features are also top-notch. You get a KVM switch, a USB-A hub plus a plethora of other ports, even including an Ethernet port, plus USB-C power delivery that can power one device with a 100W connection or two devices for 65W. Specifications: Panel type, QD-OLED. Resolution, 5120 by 1440, 32:9. Refresh rate, 165 Hz. Panel size, 49 inches. Response time, 3 milliseconds. Number 5. Cooler Master GM34CWQ ARGB Monitor. An oldie but still a goldie, the Cooler Master GM34CWQ ARGB is available for an excellent price these days, and though it doesn't compare in some ways to the more premium models on this page, its specs are still remarkably impressive. As with the HP pick, it comes with a VA panel that is capable of a higher peak brightness in SDR mode that is greater than what the OLED screens can manage, around 400 nits. Color replication is also solid, with 100% sRGB coverage, decent color accuracy, enough for non-professional color-accurate work, and 97% DCI-P3 coverage. The contrast ratio and black point, whilst not up there with OLED monitors, is still good. The two areas the budget price makes itself known are the refresh rate and the stand. The former is capped at 144 Hz, which is still perfectly fine for single-player titles and casual online play, but might put off competitive gamers. The stand tilts, swivels, and is height adjustable, though not by much in any of these directions. That said, if you're not intending to move it around much, this shouldn't really be a problem.